Welcome to presentation on factors affecting high-yield bonds by PJ Finance Show.
Hey Joe. Did I wake you up?
Not really. I was having a nice dream and then someone woke me up suddenly in the middle of the night.
Since you are awake now, can you tell me about high-yield bonds?
I am awake, but I am still sleepy. Can this wait until tomorrow?
I really need your help now to finish up a report. I have to be very clear about the background information before I wrap it up for my boss tomorrow morning. Please help.
Okay. First you need to know the risk premium, which is the spread, or additional interest rate on top of the government bond yield, our Treasury yield curve. Different maturity will have different amounts of spread. In general, the further out the maturity, the larger the spread to compensate for increased chances of default over a longer time period.
Is it just the difference between corporate bond yield and Treasury bond yield?
Good question. I was simplifying it just now. The proper way to evaluate the spread is to look for the OAS, or option-adjusted spread, because some corporate bonds are issued as convertibles, which give the owner the right but not the obligation to convert to stocks. You get this OAS from top-tier research firms or banks.
And this spread widens when the economy is going into and during a recession, right?
Correctamundo. When the economy weakens, the chances of default increase. Hence investors will want a wider spread, meaning they want the corporate bond yield to be even higher than what they get by owning treasuries.
And the spread is correlated with the stock market, right?
Yes. A narrower spread is when the stock market is strong.
When the stock market is strong, there is optimism and risk on, hence investors are less fearful about default risk, and will more likely accept a narrower spread when they invest in corporate bonds. And this optimism or risk on can also be seen when banks are easing their lending standard.
This relationship is very interesting. When times are bad and banks are tightening their lending standards, their unwillingness to lend would directly result in higher default risk, as firms cannot roll over maturing loans.
People think that the bank's business is to lend money. Actually, the bank's role is to make money. If they are fearful that they may lose money in anticipation of a weakening economy, they will cut down on loans. Like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Correctamundo. When the banks think that the economy will worsen by tightening lending standards, their actions will create an economic slowdown.
Aside from looking at how macroeconomic policy affects the economy, is there a way to anticipate when a company is going to default?
Do you want the exact day and time?
Are you laughing at me?
No, I am laughing with you.
I am not laughing. You are laughing at me.
Okay. Here's the thing. You look at the firm's key accounting ratios, and if you see a worsening trend, then the chance of a default increases. For example, operating income divided by revenue, EBIT divided by interest expense, debt divided by total capital, and return on capital.
While different industries will have what is normal and what is a bad situation, it is the trend that is important. So, what I need to observe is that are the accounting numbers improving or worsening, right?
Yes. Absolutely correct. But hey, if you know so much about high-yield bonds, why are you waking me up in the early morning to ask me?
Because you are the best, Joe. One more question. How do I know if the spread is sufficient for the risk I am taking?
From the spread, when you take away the historical default risk, you will end up with the excess spread. How large the excess spread is will depend on where you think the economy and the firm's financial health will be headed.
Thanks, Joe. You are really the best. Now go back to sleep.
Yeah. I can sleep for another 30 minutes before I get ready for work. Bye-bye, sweetheart.
Thank you for watching a presentation on high-yield bonds. This presentation was brought to you by PJ Finance Show.